Welcome to Beyond the Qubit. I'm your host, Frank Dekker. Today on Beyond the Qubit, we welcome Olga Mamlyga, co-founder of Quantum Scout Apps, and the team developed True Quantum Networks. Olga is a quantum cybersecurity pioneer who has turned first-hand experience with cybersecurity conflict. She grew up in Ukraine and she was watching critical infrastructure that came under attack into a mission to protect the world's digital backbone. Her company, Quantum Scout Apps, is building a physical level protection for all 7 layers of the OSI stack, combining multiple security defenses. Olga, in our conversation, you mentioned multiple times that your solution is focusing on multiple layers. For the listeners, after the interview, can you maybe share a public presentation where you're comfortable with sharing to the public audience, where you show, where you have an overview of the 7 layers? So where do the 7 layers exist of? I think that's helpful.
Yes, of course. I will write it down because, that's a very good idea. Because, so many times there are things we expect them to be obvious and they are not. But if you are all the time in this, you stop thinking, how does it look from outside? There is so much explanation to be done. And that's why I am there talking.
So the idea and the principle that you say, look, quantum encryption or quantum key distribution is only focusing on one layer, and quantum key distribution can be expensive, but we need protection on all the layers. I think that idea makes a lot of sense.
Yes, thank you. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's good to talk.
On which segment do you focus, or who are your most significant competitors?
I also asking almost every week, who is our competitor? Because of the conversations. And our head of research and development always says, we don't have any competitor. Because it says they are either having a platform or an extremely big, expensive architecture that it's not really doable, for example, for big installations. So we are not platform-based. We are exactly the fundamental where you can build your communication system, your automation, your sensors, everything would be running in this network. So no competitors. So
do you mean that is it running on the normal telecom infrastructure?
It's or is meant
separate infrastructure?
No. It's running on fiberglass.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's like first quantum network, and on top everything you want, and everything will be then protected and can't be hacked from the outside. And as I said, quantum key distribution, there I would be very critical. There are lots, even not, you just, you take a look, ChatGPT. And this is the fun part. Just ChatGPT. What are disadvantages of quantum key distribution? And there immediately the flaws. You even don't have to be a technician to see already the flaws, because there is a hype and there is the reality of those who are actually building it. And we don't have to go against all the companies, and it's not what we want to do. Our thing is to protect part of critical infrastructure, and that people see, yes, it's actually working out, and they figured out something nobody else could see. I mean, how can you peer view the innovation? You can't. And that's what we are trying to say, people we are trying to reach, who see that the solutions they have now are not working out. And unfortunately, those people were already hacked. And then they see, there should be something more to this. And who are ready then to talk to us and to see how to install, even on a small scale. We don't need really a big bank or a big power grid. Let's say cryptocurrency. We could secure the cryptocurrency in the way that it's actually secure, because we took a look in the inner workings of the cryptocurrency, and it turned out this architecture itself is not safe. Let's put it this way. And we can help make it safe. As I said, better not to go into details.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be the one who is spilling the beans. So, but when we started, we didn't start with cryptocurrency, and it wasn't actually our interest. It was more about banks and power grids, hospitals, or critical infrastructure. And then we took a look, and by accident, we got to know people, talked, and wow, there is a problem, there is really a big problem. And quantum network actually fits into it. And you don't expect when you start, and then, wow, it's actually not pivoting, but data could help as well.
Can we walk through how you try to build an ecosystem around you and how you try to scale the company?
Yes, the ecosystem, it's truly amazing how many people you can meet. And this is what we are doing, to talk to infrastructure operators, to build the partnerships. So this is what I'm doing most of the time. And it's amazing how many people are in quantum. Everyone knows each other. And I am in the community also for quantum finance. And it's amazing. People who are actually in finance, they understand the threat, they see the threat, they are open for the conversations. And those partnerships are priceless. So those are people in finance and mathematicians and physicists. And this is amazing to go out and to talk to people and to see their response and to see that they share the same value, the same ideas. That's amazing. Such examples I might not have, but we are talking, of course, to install, to roll out our system. Critical infrastructure takes time. That's why I'm saying, if you are not ready for this, don't even start. I mean, just to change the system in the bank, it takes 7 years. So you can imagine critical infrastructure, it's a very long way to go.
Can we maybe talk a little bit about the maturity of TQN? How many FTEs do you currently have?
So we can, if we are talking, let's say, cryptocurrency institutions, we can roll out, start tomorrow, and it would take approximately...
How many employees do you currently have in the company?
This you mean. So the core of the company, who is always accessible and really working day to day, is 3 people. But in total, who would be involved in the project in the first step are around 50 people. So everyone is just waiting to jump onto it. Because currently the job is to build partnerships, cooperations we are working on, also to reach out to infrastructure operators. And as an engineer, you don't have to do it. This is really not in their interest.
So it's really startup and the trying to mature the company.
Yeah, exactly. Because think about it, you have been working in the field for 30 years. You know so many people, and they are like you, and they're just waiting to do something truly big.
And can you walk us through about early customer successes? So do you have key clients, or is there something that you can share? You say, well, here is where, are there certain sectors or certain clients? Do you have big customer wins that get you excited?
We can't share customer success because we are looking for the pilot project, for the first adapters. And as you know, first adapters are very reluctant, it takes time. And as I said, we pivoted into cryptocurrency because they have currently really urgency to protect their systems. And that's why this is where we are taking a look at into the companies that need the solution. And this stands up on our list. And as I said, we are also working to reach out to critical infrastructure, but it all takes time. As you know, on one hand...
No. I'm not saying it's easy.
No, really... I know. I'm just saying, on one hand, R&D can take years. And in our case, it's truly the pilot to start. And to start, we can tomorrow. It's not... That's the challenge we have. As I said, currently none. We are working on it. working very hard.
What is your expectations for the coming 3 years? How many pilots do you expect to?
Yes, we expect to start with cryptocurrency to secure and then to have one pilot in the critical infrastructure. It can be bank, power grid, hospital, data center. It all can be secured.
Yes. Okay. Can we talk a little bit about the technology? What is the basic technology of TQN and what is on your roadmap?
The basic technology, as I said, it's a very complex solution. And if I write a white paper, then tomorrow it will be rolled out somewhere else. That's our challenge, because we can't share it like this publicly. We are inviting partners, people who are not people, people we could cooperate with, and we could gladly talk, share how to do it and how to do it on their system. And yeah, this is what we are doing at the moment, because as I said, what I can share, I have already shared, that it's an extremely secure solution, that it's extremely complex, is protecting 7 layers of internet infrastructure. I will make additionally the paper about it. That it's not quantum key distribution, because the speed is fast in our system. So it's cost effective and it's industrially robust, so it can scale up. And it's also not PQC, although PQC can be part, it's not based on it. And it's based on physics, which means it's safer and it can withstand all attacks, even quantum hacks. So it was really well thought through in the rise of quantum threat.
And what is your, on the technology roadmap, what are you developing for the coming 5 years? So what on the technology roadmap are you developing? So that in 5 years' time that you can say to investors, well, if we develop this, then our valuation should go up. So what are the building blocks on the technology roadmap?
So on the technology roadmap, we have a lot of other interesting projects. So it's also communication system. We do customized communication system for different fields and for different purposes. And quantum network is actually dual use. So that would be also on our roadmap to move, because it can work also in the harsh conditions. And this would be the next step, because you can't do everything at once, and especially in the military it takes even longer than in the critical infrastructure. So this would be our next step to approach military. It's for defense.
Okay.
We are in defense to protect their communication system, for example, the field communication systems. Also, it's about communication human to machine, machine to human, machine to machine. So yes, everything is well thought through to make it complex. Like there is quantum network and communication system can be then put on top. And communication system, as I said, is meant not only for humans, but also for machines.
Olga, what do you see as the most important bottlenecks for quantum networks and cybersecurity?
I would say it's this knowledge gap, to explain it's the challenge for us to explain to people that it's not in 10, 20 years quantum network, that we can actually build it, because we talked also to high-profile architects outside of the company. And it was also challenging to explain to them that it's not the future and it's not as complicated and cost-consuming as they believe. And this, for us, the challenge, to explain the value they might understand, but to understand that it's now. It's present, it's not the future.
And can you explain the listeners in 1 minute Why is it now and not 10 years out?
Because you have to be prepared for what is coming. We can't even estimate what quantum technologies will bring to us. And quantum network can protect all the critical systems already from tomorrow on. We can start rolling out tomorrow. We don't have to wait. And we can do it because we worked in the field of networks, communication systems, and it's all based on the education we got in physics. So it's truly doable, and we are open to conversations, one-to-one, to sign NDAs, letters of interest, and to talk. Yes, behind the closed doors, because we can't open these technologies. Everyone can listen. And it's not only stealing IP, it's also Chinese are everywhere and they're listening to everything, and the same with Russians. And such a technology has to be protected. It's quantum. It's as disruptive as it can be, and we can even imagine. And we'll see what happens, for example, in 10 years.
And how important is store now, decrypt later? Can you maybe explain to the listeners what exactly it is?
Yes.
Why does it matter?
Yeah, it does matter, because now the data is stolen and the data is encrypted, and they hope to decrypt it later with quantum computers. Yes, but it's also a bit more complex, because not all data remains sensitive after, let's say, 1-2 years. There is also the problem. You must know what you are stealing, that this data will be then decrypted in 10 years, and it's still valid in 10 years, that you still need it in 10 years. Yeah, exactly. So it's truly also depends on the situation, depends on the sector you're talking about. Yeah, and quantum computers are meant to break codes. What can we do? I didn't invent them.
How do you see quantum networks and security evolving as quantum systems grow from noisy intermediate states to post-quantum?
What do you mean?
Now, how do you see quantum networks evolving from today and 5-10 years out? What are the big things that we have to pay attention to?
Yes, as I said, about quantum technologies, we underestimate the disruptiveness of the technology. We can't even imagine what they can bring to us. And when we were developing quantum network, we were thinking that quantum network can withstand those attacks in 50 years. It was important to see that the system is still there after 50 years. And when the risk assessment wasn't done by me, I didn't study neither in engineering nor in physics. So, and when people who did it, who have been working in the field, say, yeah, you must be careful. You can't estimate the risk now from what we know, from the mathematics we know, from everything what we know. We can't even estimate. This is so big. Let's be prepared, because you can't start getting ready when it's already there around the corner. It's too late. And as we can see, you can't stop now quantum. It's such a big thing. The developments are coming from all the sides, from all the countries, and all the countries are protecting it extremely. So what is really there? What is really developed and how it's working? We only can imagine.
Can you walk investors through how we should think about terminal value? And what are the main drivers for the valuation? And what is the opportunity that you have, and what is your conviction?
Yes, unlike conventional IT, quantum networks target, as I said, critical infrastructure, creating high value, high barrier markets. And early partners position themselves as leaders in a strategic and potentially multi-trillion-dollar ecosystem. And the partners should think about commercial and industrial use cases will drive exponential growth. And potential of recurring revenue is also immense. Plus strategic value, of course, the first adopters can add enormous strategic value to their businesses because of the potential partnerships with governments, telcos, all those who are working in the field.
If we talk about talent and management team, what kind of talent does TQN need? Is it more quantum physicist and software or cybersecurity expert?
It's also engineers. We are saying you can't have enough engineers for the quantum network. And we assembled the core team, and we are also talking to mathematicians and other physicists. And the team has to be different, but engineers are the ones that matter the most because they make certain that it's actually working in real life. Because this is not on the paper when you're taking a look, like I'm telling to the physician, I don't know, mathematicians built me a jet, and just without the book, 50,000 pieces just built me, and tomorrow, so I switch on the button and it's working. They can't do it, but engineer has to do it. They must see that this is working, and this is what we are trying to convey. Engineers are extremely important in this case because it's for the industry, because it's so big and you have to see all the points. Yeah, we are very open for cooperations and cybersecurity experts, of course, because where can you go without cybersecurity? Security is in the core of our solution. So yes. What do you mean?
Now, this podcast, the name is Beyond the Qubit. It's about quantum. So what are the most important talents that you have inside TQN related to quantum technology?
Yes, those are engineers, as I said. This is the most important, with the background in physics, of course, and this is the heart of true quantum network. The ones who designed it and engineered and who understand how it should be and how it should work. And as I said, the point is not the technology, because we thought really about a lot and went through everything, all the possible scenarios.
And those talents, that they wrote certain papers, or is there, what can you share about the talents that set you apart from your competitors?
Yeah, we are not very much into white papers and papers in general. It's more what comes on your way in your experience, working experience. And you meet people, you work with people who are your treasure. And I talked also to headhunter in the quantum technologies, and he said, yeah, exactly. You are not sharing it because this is the heart and soul of your company. Those people who make it work, that's the real treasure. This is the heart you protect with everything. And publicity comes to its second place. Those people who make the technology alive, you have to guard them. So yes, they are engineers. They have background in physics, and they were met on the way, in your working life, and they are checked and rechecked, and that's the best part. Because it is critical infrastructure. You have to trust to build such a thing. You can't, for example, hire over internet,
Especially for critical infrastructure. And if you want to gain scale and if you want to get funding from investors, I think you need external validations, you need white papers, you need, because it's one thing that the CEO tells you, yes, I want to get protected, check in the box. Another thing is, why TQN? Because they say, okay, you're a smaller company. If they hire a Cisco, or if they hire a Zscaler, or if they hire Palo Alto, the CEO does not have a lot of risk. And especially for government organizations or from critical infrastructures, if they hire you, if they decide to work with TQN, then they say, okay, why are they the best party to play with? What are their credentials?
Yes, I
What would be your
understand.
pushback on that?
Yeah, of course, I understand. That's why I said we are open to conversations with the partners to say why we are. Plus, it's important to understand who is actually doing the innovation in those big companies. Mostly they don't do it. Mostly they buy smaller companies like ours. And also the question, will they be there? Yeah, they say we are too big to fail, but they mostly don't do a good job. And you can read, mostly they fail such projects, but of course they get those contracts. And this is also the challenge, to compete with such big players. But at the end, it won't be done. That's the point. And you understand this once you're working in this field. As I said, I'm always talking to our guys, and they're evaluating all the products on the market, and you see, at the end it won't work out. And so many also big companies, they have the solution, and people believe they are big, they will be there. But after 5 years, they stopped supporting the solution, and you can't do anything. Like, for example, Microsoft 7, it's not supported now. And so many computers do have it. And does anyone care? No. So big doesn't mean success. Big only, unfortunately, means they are likely to get the contract. And there where we are seeing a biggest challenge. Because who is inside working? Those engineers, actually. And Cisco, Microsoft, it's also a couple of people. This is not a big team.
Maybe to ramp it up, what do you think is the most overhyped cyber control today?
I guess it's zero trust. because we should go actually to the basics in the cybersecurity, and then the user can do so much. And zero trust is unfortunately not enough. Yes.
What is the most underinvested failure mode in OT?
I would say it's recovery plan in those systems. That's why one of our solutions is actually business continuity plan. What do after the attack? And there is a lot missing there. The companies truly must see and invest in cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is the thing. And you can see now so many insurances don't pay now, and it will only grow, because you can't be unprotected. You can't invest, I don't know, 50 euros per month for solution, a patchwork, and hope that security will compensate this. No, it's impossible. You must see that your system is protected, that you can recover your system if the attack happened. And it is very difficult in so many companies, because the minute, also interesting, 25% of all the CISOs are now fired after the cyber attack on the company. And the minute it's getting personal, when they are really responsible with their private assets, maybe then there will be a change. Because it can't last forever, that such enormous damage is done and insurances keep paying. It won't last forever.
Mm-hmm. What is one misconception about quantum risk you would wish that it would die?
Yes, this is what I said already, I guess, that we must understand we don't see the real destructiveness of quantum technologies now. And we must be prepared now, and not when it's already happening and it's too late. Quantum is there. We can't change it, and we have to be prepared. And better now, because it all takes time. As I said, in banking, it takes 7 years. So if we start talking about protecting against quantum threat in 7 years and start implementing it in 7 years, you can understand there is not enough time.
Okay, Olga, my last question. Can you summarize in 2 minutes why investors should pay attention to TQN?
Yes, first of all, it's important to remember, in our case, mission first, security first, and profits the second. We are there to bring long-term value. We are there to protect critical infrastructure, to protect lives of people. And we are open to cooperate with investors, with partners, with infrastructure providers who share our mission, who understand the importance of our mission. And we are, as I said, just come to us, let's talk and let's protect what matters, exactly the structure, the very basic where our democracy is lying on. Let's talk. And we're small, but it doesn't mean we can't do it because we have experience.
I think that's the experience that you mentioned with your co-founder. I think that's also important. And in our introduction call, you also mentioned that because of security reasons, you are cautious to expose this person too much. Is that
Yes,
correct?
exactly. I don't want the co-founder to be exposed. It's unnecessary. Security is above publicity, above revenue. It's critical. It's about critical systems. And there you have to be cautious. And I see, fortunately, there are a lot of conversation in this direction going on out there, and people started to understand in times of war you have to protect the core of your company, something that is truly interruptive and something disruptive, because we can disrupt hackers and we have to protect more than just IP.
And I think one of the things that I found really interesting is that you have a solution that covers not only one layer. So your point is most security companies, cybersecurity, focus only on one layer, and your solution focus on the total picture of all the 7 layers.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Because we understood if you have just one protection, hackers don't follow the rules. They will find a person who can do sabotage from inside. And you can have PQC, you can have quantum key distribution, and there it goes. And the same with operational system. If your operational system is vulnerable, it doesn't matter what protection is around it. That's the point.